I want to speak from the theme tonight, many interests, one Senate district. All right? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. These words, influenced by Francis Bellamy, revised in June of 1954 during Flag Day, embodies love and patronage to our nation, America. Significantly, focus is on unity as one nation, trust in the Almighty God, and further, it proposes the proposition that liberty and justice extends to every American citizen. Somehow, in these challenging times we face across the nation, there is a question about greatness in America. Some people pose that question. The story is told of a farmer living on an old dirt road. One day, a man drove by and noticed he had a pig with 3 legs and a peg. He stopped curiously to inquire about such an unusual thing. When asked, the farmer said to him, hey, quickly he stopped. He said, let me tell you about this pig. One day, I fell sick in the barn. There was nobody around to save me. But don't you know, it was this here pig that helped me and got me back on my feet. The man said, wow, looking at the man. He said, wait. Let me tell you about this here pig. House got fired. This pig went and got the fire hose, sprayed down the fire, and saved my home. The guy said, wow, man, hey. He said, wait. You don't understand. Let me tell you about this pig. This pig right here, he counted to 10 and say his name all by himself. Man said, wait a minute now, wait a minute. He said, but I just got one question. Why is it that this pig got 3 legs and 1 peg? The man railed back and said, well, you know, a pig this good, you can't eat them all at once. That's the way we are in the United States of America. Got some good things, got some challenging things. Everything is not going to come at once. But guess what? When we're united, we can do a whole lot. And we can make things happen. Irregardless of what your life experience is, where you come from, or what you're doing, the greatness of America is it provides you an opportunity to be a part of it. Here in Senate District 21, that's what we are aiming to do. To bring you together because you are a Tennessean, you're part of Nashville, Davidson County, and Senate District 21. Approximately 329.5 million citizens in the United States of America right now. Now, with this large number of people, you can imagine you're going to have some difference of opinions about politics, about religious views, and even social issues. However, occurrences like what happened on September 11, 2001, causes us to stop and pause and realize that anything could threaten our life, our safety, and we've got to be together. Is that right?
That's right.
It's moments that we face like the flood of 2010 that causes people how to literally rise in the water that makes us realize what we have could be gone in a minute. And it makes people come out just like they did helping one another over in Antioch and Bordeaux and various parts of Nashville. It's moments like just recently in 2020 when a hurricane, God sent a hurricane to Nashville, tore up various parts of the city. And it made people realize just how precious life is and how quickly these material things could be gone. Quick as you get them, they can be gone. But what's most important is the familiar relationships we have with our neighbors. And it brings us back to that reality. And that's what we should look at, friends, neighbors, constituents, Senate District 21. I'm speaking largely to our live stream audience as well as those that are in the room, because it's very important that we understand that. Now, as a 35-year resident of Nashville-Davidson County, I have personally witnessed the growth of what's now called the, quote, it city. Isn't that something? And I can remember when it wasn't that much. It's fair to say that everybody has some reason to appreciate the advances that we've had in the city, right? Some are good and some are not so good. But at the same time, we value the importance of safe neighborhoods, public safety. We value civility among neighbors. Got to a point in the last few years where people don't want to look at each other. Yeah. They're afraid to speak to one another. And that's sad. But we can do better. And we must do better. We value a good quality education for all of our children. Now, some of our neighbors have voiced concern about economic disparities across Davidson County and Tennessee. Economic disparities compacted with social issues and what they believe to be inequality. And even many people are still complaining about the intended and unintended consequences of gentrification. They're real, and it's what we're facing. Some good people feel pressured by those things. These cries should not go unheard. Now, perhaps the most important duty that a senator has is to address the grievances, not just people in their party, but in both parties, all of their constituents, rightfully, so that they feel as though they're part of Nashville-Davidson County, Senate District 21, the state of Tennessee. That's their job. Now, like the rest of the U.S., let's face it, we operate here in Tennessee under the two-party system. It's a real deal, and we understand that. Despite that, however, what we must recognize is that we have an opportunity as constituents to bring ourselves together, despite our ethnicity, despite our economic status, or any of those things, and say, you know what, if you hurt, just like the floods, just like 9/11, I hurt. And we're humans, we're members of the human family, right here in Davidson County. That's our charge. When we go to the ballot box, what we're doing is making a statement that we all are part of one family. All right? Now, what we realize, because of difference in opinions politically largely, is that people of goodwill often differ when it comes to what does it mean to sustain a perfect union, to ensure justice, safeguard domestic tranquility, provide for a common defense, promote general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our children, our posterity. What does that mean? Depending on who you're talking to and what your motivation is, maybe how you feel when you get up in the morning. That may be a little bit different. However, the reality is we're all facing the same thing. As the next senator of 21st Senatorial District, I endeavor to foster cooperation between local city government, our state government, and bring the resources necessary to help young folk who don't feel as though liberty and justice has been extended to all. That's part of the duty of your elected officials, to make sure that all your citizens, your constituents, feel as though they're a part and they're recognized. As I close, I want to bring your attention to the words of the late President Abraham Lincoln. Almost prophetically, in his speech at Gettysburg, he recognized the fact that 616,222 of America's sons shedded their blood on the battlefields during the Civil War. Now, did you know that some of those sons were white? Some of them were black. Some of them had on Union uniforms, others on Confederates. But guess what they all shared in common? They lost their blood on the battlefields of America. Lincoln recognized that this was a serious thing, and if we're not careful, we'll find ourselves at bay with one another, fighting and continuing this struggle when we don't have to, and we should not. Here's what he said. You know the famous address. It's rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to the cause which they have last or given their last full measure of devotion. We here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain. This nation under God shall have a new birth and a new freedom. And that government of the people, government for the people, and government by the people shall not perish from the earth. Senate District 21, let's work hard to remain united